When trying to improve your model, there are a number of tools on the regression itself that can be quite useful of finding clues as to what might be missing from your model in terms of independent variables or how it can be improved. I want to particularly look at the time series and the line graph. The time series, if you have a number of variables, it can be quite messy, but it can also be quite useful. If you use the data to zoom in, you can see what's happening with each of the variables at specific times, the absolute values and how they are changing relative to each other. It can also be useful if you go up here into step 1 dashboard and just graph the time series. Then you can limit the number of variables without changing this regression model. You can change the period that's displayed in the chart without changing the baseline year. So that can be a good tool to explore with. But what I really want to look at is the line graph. Because what this chart does is it plots the baseline predicted value with actual electricity consumption so that you can see, and what this is really useful is to help, similar to the control chart, it helps pick out periods of time, particularly chunks of time, where your model is doing a poor job of predicting energy consumption. So if we look in here, we can see right here, here's one that jumps out pretty clearly, is we have a period here where the predicted values are significantly higher than the actual values, and some conversely on these off days, and we can see what looks like a weekday weekend pattern happening here. On the weekends, we seem to be the consumption is lower than what were predicted. So that gives us some clues as to what we might want to look into happening in this period. Combining this with the control chart and some other tools can really help zoom in on particular areas where your model needs some help improving its prediction